Last week in Hypixel Skyblock, a few things happened, and in this video I'll be covering most of them. The Extreme Bingo event started a few days ago and will last for 14 days. Now in this event, you basically do tasks to get bingo points that you can later cash in for coins. If you want a guide for it, you can either check the forum post made by Indigo Polecat or watch the video linked in the description. In this event, you also get items based on how many goals you complete, including the bingo rod at 4 goals, a bingo bow at 8 goals, the Bingonimbus 2000 at 12 goals, and the bingo hoe at 16 goals. Also, this hoe is an axe, cause Hypixel. They also fixed some bugs, including loot sharing attribute shards, Art of the Forest showing an incorrect amount of whispers, Skyblock XP decreasing when you spend forest whispers, and could these guys be any more vague? What even is this? You know what, just read it. Beyond that, they also buffed the pumpkin and melon dicers. Technically, they fixed it. You can also now toggle the following potion effects. Also, tree gifts will now give foraging XP even if you've maxed out foraging. Also, the blue campfire trial would ignore your defense if your health was lower than 1 tick of its damage, and it would just insta-kill you. And now actually considers your defense as well. Also, the dark auction has finally been fixed. If you forgot, they are disabled it last week. As you remember, last week the admins had completely ruined mining, but they have made attempts to fix it. First, they re-enabled Diamond and Golden Goblins. Also, there was a weird bug with mining. Basically, mining abilities did not cost any tokens. Shout out to ZJ2 for this video, but basically you could get a lot more buffs, like Sky Mall, which many players assumed was a massive buff to mining, but it turned out to be a bug. Also, the Titanium Ore multiplier perk was permanently enabled. This, combined with the mining ability bug, allowed players to make a lot of coins, but it was fixed, and everyone who had abused it had their Heart of the Mountain tree reset. Also, they fixed the core of the mountain and the blue cheese goblin omelette, and they now boost pickaxe abilities like intended. So yeah, mining is back to how it initially was. Also, we had some pretty insane leaks. Basically, since they updated Skyblock to 1.21, it seems they'll also be integrating custom entity models to the game. And yeah, it actually looks insane. Now, it obviously won't be a new island or anything, as it just looks like the Goblin Raid. But it means we have another mining update. Whoa. The admins have also leaked the name of some of the trees that will be added to the other foraging islands, namely Truffle and Pinerise, which will require thousands of sweep. Now for some alpha changes. Spooky Festival rewards will now expire after 10 in-game days, so you should collect them regularly. And if you haven't collected them in a long time, collect them before the update drops. They've also added Hina's chapters, where you can complete various objectives that allow you to earn Heart of the Forest and Skyblock XP along with attribute shards, which could be really good for new players and allows them to check out stuff they probably would have missed without forcing them to go through a boring tutorial. Next, they've completely revamped pet crafting. Basically, all the pets you craft will now start from common rarity. Now, what about eggs, you might ask? Basically, it seems specific pets will require a specific egg type, like the wolf pet, that you can craft using 1 regular egg. And the mithril golem pet now requires an enchanted egg. But the snail pet now requires a super enchanted egg. Now, once you craft them, you can then go to cat to upgrade them. Now, based on what I've heard, upgrading them through cat is actually gonna be more expensive than getting them right now. So yeah, the admins did a thing. Also, they updated the chicken pet, and it no longer buffs chicken minions and instead gives 100 farming fortune on private islands, which honestly seems kinda useless, but it could be useful for beginners trying to grind the Jacobs contest. They also added the enchanted cooked rabbit. They also changed the enchanted rabbit hide recipe, and it now requires less rabbit hide. They also doubled the rabbit minions output for rabbit hides and feet. Now for some other alpha changes. Pest and mouse traps now show the trap limit. You can now add farming for dummies to vacuums. Better Together now considers zones instead of distance. They added the suspicious scrap to dwarven sacks. Eternal flame rings can now be sold to the NPC for 10k coins. They capped the blood god's crest to 7 strength. Why though? They increased the drop rate of rampart armor. Again, why though? You can now catch 1 trophy fishes outside the Crimson Isles. The mythic hermit crab pet now sells for 2 mil at George. Hoppity shop no longer shows rabbits you already own. They improved the /AH searches filtering. Cow hats now work with trapper animals. They fixed the redstone pigment's dementia. For the millionth time, they fixed getting crimson armor stacks from non-melee kills. The destruction cloak no longer destroys your enchants and reforges when upgraded. They fixed Soul Eater not working with the Flower of Truth or Bouquet of Lies. They fixed being unable to get Kudra upgrades. When you have the same number of tokens as required, you can no longer teleport around corners with an aspect of the void, whatever that means. They fixed 2 different pairs of guardian pets being obtained from a single super pair. They fixed the price of Podzol. Also, the lumber merchant no longer scams you. They also updated Bedwars. Basically, they've reduced the amount of XP you can gain from just playing. But now you get XP for kills, final kills, bed breaks, and resource collection. So, yeah. Can you tell I'm wasting time? Anyway, here's some fun stuff from the Discord. Seems a lot of people panic sold their alloys, and this guy saved like 700 million coins. These guys decided to share the middle tree. Tree be like,
damn, I messed up. We gotta go bald, man.
Also, the price of Foraging XP boosts is actually insane. Anyway, if you want your achievements to be stolen and used for content like this, join the Discord. We also have giveaways. Now here's some fun stuff from the community. Nope, it's more like... Now just sell your giant sword and buy a Juju short bow.
Actually, it was designed for mithril mining. So, if you wanna mine, go upstairs.
Yeah, hunting is only fun when you're doing it. Also, turns out Shell is bugged and doesn't seem to work with projectiles sometimes. Great, now touch grass. Kiara doesn't care about Diaz. We often look too far for things that are close at hand. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. That Cheeks is already farming 40 on Binghoe. How? Well, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I don't get why you would even use scaffolding. As a guy with a red name, I cannot relate. Anyway, watch my other videos, and I'll be dropping a video about resource packs in a few days. So please sub. Bye. If you watched the video up to this point, I sincerely thank you. If you want to watch more videos like this, click the button on the left. If you want to continue to watch more content, click the button on the right. If you want to store that, be a channel member, make a Discord, and don't forget to leave a comment as I read all comments.